Hey guys, I had a thought. Yeah, scary, right? I was thinking, can the RTX 3090, like the RTX 3090 from Zotac, the Trinity model, the one I just reviewed, which has a memory frame buffer of 24 gigabytes, featuring the stupid fast GDDR6X memory, you can check out the review here, can handle, say, a Samsung Odyssey G9 monitor. The G9 is a behemoth of a gaming monitor at a staggering 49 inches while featuring a 1000R curvature with a super wide resolution of 5120 by 1440p at a mind-blistering 240 hertz refresh rate. So yeah, it's really gonna have to come down to the game, right? Exactly. Titles like CSGO, Dune 2016, and Doom Eternal, which are really easy AAA titles to run on modern hardware, which shouldn't be too difficult to peg the needle at 240 frames per second. Games like Cyberpunk 2077 and, dare I say, Crysis are a totally different story. Even with the RTX 3090 2nd-gen ray tracing cores and 3rd-gen tensor cores, pushing 5120 by 1440p is no easy feat, much less at 240 frames per second. That said, lowering the graphics settings would be the only way to push FPS higher. So for this experiment, I will be using my main system, which consists of a Ryzen 9 3900X, cooled by bequiet's Pure Loop 360 AIO, and a Aorus X570 Master for the motherboard, 32 gigabytes of DDR4 3000 T-Force Delta R RGB RAM, OC to 3200 MHz, along with the aforementioned Zotac RTX 3090 Trinity. For storage, I only run M.2 NVMe drives, so both being from Samsung, the 970 EVO Plus, and a 950 Pro for my scratch drive. All of this is housed in a bequiet silent base 802 with the EVGA 750p2 powering the entire system. If you want to catch reviews and a more in-depth look at my rig, be sure to hit that notification bell and subscribe so you don't miss that video. Now on to the benchmarks. Whoa. All right, the benchmarks are done. Whew. 28 bench runs later, and here we are. You know what surprised me, really? Crysis. Yep, 2007's Crysis really did well. By today's visual fidelity, it looks amazing compared to ray tracing. Now, I did try and test DLSS in Shadow of the Tomb Raider, but I had some weird issue with it only rendering the image at 1920 by 1440p. So that was skipped. Also in Doom Eternal, I tested Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare presets, which I should have the numbers up on the screen right now. Doom Eternal really is that optimized that it really felt amazing to play it again. I did manage to test DLSS and ray tracing in Cyberpunk 2077, which mind you is incredibly hard to run. For what it's worth, the Samsung Odyssey G9's G-Sync compatibility came in handy at those lower frame rates, make everything feel more fluid. In other games like CSGO, yeah, we all know that one's stupid easy to run and could more or less run on a potato, but it's still a fun title. I also threw in Far Cry 5 since it's a bit older, but still a little bit of a challenge for the old RTX 3090. That really too was a nice experience running G-Sync. So in the end, did Samsung's Odyssey G9 get pegged out at 240 frames per second? Well, not really, but most of the games ran over 100 frames per second, giving solid gameplay with the exception of Cyberpunk 2077. There you go, guys. I hope this helps anyone who is looking at pairing a RTX 3090 and a super ultra wide monitor running a resolution of 5120 by 1440p. If you'd be so kind to smack that thumbs up and subscribe button, I thank you in advance. Oh yeah, make sure you come back every Wednesday for a new video, as I've ironed out my schedule to make more consistent weekly uploads. See you guys in the next one.